Do you want me to step in for Russ?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 4:05 p.m., citing proper posting of the meeting and following open door laws. We will commemorate this meeting of the Chester Township Board. First item of business would be the approval of the September 24th, 2025 minutes.
I guess
Sorry.
it's just up to me, yeah.
Okay. Okay, moved there in second.
I'm used
Passed.
to Russ being here.
Oops. I wrote him, so I'm pretty sure I like him. Okay.
Okay, first up on agenda that I have is just the annual fire service agreement that's supposed to start January 1st. Everything is the same except for on page 3 where there was some edits to like the expenses for training. I think we discussed at one of the last meetings that we wanted to change the hotel room and the meal allotment to the $150 per person per diem. So I've got that in there. If the training does not warrant the overnight stay, each volunteer will be paid for their meals for each class day attended, as long as receipts are provided and submitted, along with the forms prescribed by the State Board of Accounts. I did change mileage to catch up with the federal standards, so that's 70 cents per mile. 300 miles round trip is max, so for a total of $210, unless there's additional permission granted by the trustee solely. And they also have to use the form prescribed by the State Board of Accounts for that. And then on number 3, any training that the volunteer attends as a representative must relate to the fire services that the department provides, so fire, medical, or rescue. No other trainings will be approved. And then 4 is if the materials are required for the course, the volunteer must see if the materials are available online for free on the ifsta.org website. The township will not purchase or reimburse for materials if the materials are available at the above website.
So did we change something also to cover the permission?
Oh yeah. There, in that next paragraph below it, it says the department's officers shall screen all training requests to be sure all volunteers are given an equal opportunity to use these funds. The trustees shall also approve these requests and will reimburse these expenses provided a bill is submitted for payment. Is that what you're meaning?
And did we also add something for conduct? Didn't we?
I don't remember talking about that last one.
I don't remember that either.
With that
I
thing
think
that
there was
happened
something
at
in
Pleasant,
here though.
We discussed putting something about conduct unbecoming.
Oh,
Hold on, I feel like there was already something in here about that. I gotta find where it is though.
Zach was gonna look into that, so I thought he said they already had.
Oh yeah, they have their own conduct like thing for that. I do remember.
But we probably ought to see that.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
I haven't seen or heard for positive that they have one.
I thought there was
I'm
something
gonna write that down here. We want that in a minute so we can revisit that
Yeah.
when Zach's here. PM stressor.
Maybe that isn't in here.
I thought when we went over it before there wasn't something in there, is why we,
Yeah,
Talk about
I remember
adding-
those Zach saying something about how they kind of already have that. But we could also, just get a copy of that for our records too, as proof that like,
yeah, that's why I said we
Yeah.
should review what they have.
yeah.
Maybe ask him to bring it to the next meeting or have someone bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Is, if we approve this fire service agreement as is, can we amend it in the coming year, or is it?
I think it's pretty solid.
Well, we're kind of in a rock and a hard place.
And they don't sign it till January, right? It doesn't become effective until January.
Until January 1st, yeah.
So can we get a hold of Zach and just see if he can bring you
A
whatever
copy
in
of it.
writing and then just send it to us?
Yeah.
Or can you add that as an amendment to this?
I could probably, yeah. Well,
Okay.
I don't know if you can add an amendment. I can't say that.
Well, they haven't signed it yet.
No, they haven't signed it.
I guess if they have it and it's already part of their rules,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have to attach it here.
Yeah, but we just.
If
need
they
to
don't
see
have
what
one
theirs-
though,
Yeah,
we're gonna need, I
To
would
put
think we would
something
want
in there.
something.
Yeah. Well, okay. So maybe we just have you guys sign it. If there's nothing that they have that looks good for you, then
we
we
need to have
shred it and then I redo it and then we re-sign it. Does that make sense?
Yep, well,
I mean, it's a
Can I-
lot of work, but,
I'll add that into the motion.
okay.
Does that sound okay?
yeah.
Is there any other discussion on the fire service agreement?
I think everything else is pretty,
Then
Yeah, it's all the same.
Aaron is gonna move. Accept the fire service agreement. Provided that Zach, Rand's ever put that in here, can show fire department code of conduct policy. Otherwise, we're gonna add that to the fire service agreement. And I'll read this again to you here just a second. Fire service agreement for approval before January 1. Okay, here's the motion on the floor before it gets seconded. Aaron moves to accept the fire service agreement provided that Zach Renz can show fire department code of conduct policy. Otherwise, we're gonna add that, I better put fire current code of conduct. Code of conduct. To the fire service agreement for approval before January 1st.
give me a second.
And second. The only comment I have about that is we need to get a hold of Zach ASAP, because if we're gonna post a 2-week before January 1, we're doing
Yeah.
right up against it, so.
Yeah,
Hopefully he has it and that's a moot point, but
I wish today was Wednesday, cause he was just here last night.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion on the floor, Aaron moves to accept the fire service agreement provided that Zach Renz can show fire department code of conduct policy. Otherwise, we're going to add that to the fire service agreement for approval before January 1st.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I'll let you sign that first, I'll just write it.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because I do think that's important.
yeah. I was thinking there's something else and then I remembered what it was.
Okay?
Okay, next up is, let's talk about this first. Kendall Pitts, the mower, the guy that mows all of the cemeteries and stuff, did stop in a few weeks ago.
Sorry, what's his name?
Kendall Pitts.
Kendall Pitts, okay.
He would like to continue, working with the township to do all this. However, he does have to raise his prices a little bit to compensate, what he's paying, for insurance and other expenses. So right now we pay him $200 to weed eat whenever everything needs weed eated. He would like to bump that up to $300 for each weed eating thing, which in my mind, that doesn't seem like a lot, because you gotta weed eat around hundreds of headstones and stuff, so.
Yeah.
So he would like 300 for that, and then he would like an additional $100 to $200 a month to cover like the insurance and expenses. So right now, I think in May he gets a $2,000 upfront, well not upfront, but $2,000 check to cover anything that he had to do in April. Not usually a lot typically, and then $1,000 a month until October. So he would like to make that $1,100 to $1,200 instead to compensate how much his insurance has raised.
So it's $1,000 a month now.
Yeah.
Once, 1,100 to 1,200
Yeah. Instead.
for next season.
Yeah. So we're looking at between another $300 max a month for mowing expenses.
Okay.
Which in my mind, like I said, it makes sense because he hasn't raised his prices with me. I know these are the same prices he had with Flo for a lot of years, so I don't know. I told him I would talk to you guys about that because I couldn't just make the executive decision to give him more money, so.
Well, Aaron moves to pay Kendall Pitts $1,150 per month for next season.
Plus 300 for weed eating.
Plus 300 for.
Yeah, and he doesn't weed eat every single time he mows either. It's just whenever he sees that it needs it. So sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's twice.
You actually go by the cemeteries and see that everything's being done.
Yeah. I drive past the one on 13 and then one on 1425 all the time, and they always look super nice. I don't always go out to the ones out here.
I just wasn't sure.
I see the one
Out,
back
yeah,
way up
on
to Larry
13.
Mills.
Yeah. They
I see
always
it.
look pretty good to me. I mean, the
I heard of
grass
it
is all-
complain.
I've only had one complaint, and that was it was last year, and it was the very beginning of May. And I said, well, he hasn't even been able to go out there yet. It's been raining. Of course, everything's really tall and wild. I mean, and by the next week, it was dried out and it was mowed down. So
Okay.
that was an easy fix.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to pay Kendall Pitts $1,150 per month for the next season, plus $300 for weed eating. Is there any discussion?
No, I think I'm good with it. Second?
I split the 11 and 12 in half.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't care. That's just a number I put in there. We can discuss that, but that's just where I come up with that number.
Yeah, that's okay with me. It's meeting in the middle of what
It's
he
less
asked
than the minimum, or less than the maximum, and more than the minimum. So
for. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking too, since we had that donation for the fire, or for the one cemetery, and we're paying $100 out of that a month for it, I mean, it would kind of offset anyways. I mean, we're not really losing out too much there.
okay.
Okay.
So is there a second?
I second.
Okay.
I guess you didn't hear me when I said it.
Sorry. And seconded. Motion carries.
I also wrote out all the dates. I just went with like the third Thursday of the month because I couldn't remember if that worked for everybody. I think it was really mostly Russ that had the weird schedule. But I wrote down all the dates because I know that we had discussed previously we had to have them all listed for the next year. So I went with the third Thursday of each month, and I have that written down. January 15th, Feb 19th, March 19th, April 16th, May 21st, June 18th, July 16th, August 20th, September 17th, October 15th, November 19th, and December 17th. I didn't know if...
And if something happens and we need to cancel one, it'll be posted on the YouTube channel and on the door.
Does it have to be on the YouTube channel?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I
And
figured...
that would be one of our public announcements that we have to do.
Oh, okay.
I was writing when you were talking.
Oh, yeah.
So is that every month you have?
I just like went through the calendar and listed every month. We don't have. I mean, I
We
don't.
can
Right.
cancel a meeting.
No, I get that. I'm just.
But we have our regular meeting, we have to have a schedule for.
Yeah, you know, I get it, I'm just,
Yeah, these are just.
we just gotta remember
us.
to do that every month if we don't meet, like.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just did it for the sole purpose of the fact that we're mandated now to have a list of all of them. So I was just letting you guys know, I just chose the third Thursday, and I figured, like, if 4 o'clock worked with everyone, we could just keep making that work. And then, yeah, like Pam said, if we don't necessarily need to meet or if something comes up, then we can just cancel and post that, so.
And who is doing the YouTube?
I think I'm supposed to be in charge
Yeah.
of it.
Okay. And if we cancel, will be posted on the trustee office and YouTube page.
And I would probably make a notice and hang it on the door that just stays there that says the third Thursday of every month unless otherwise notified
Yeah.
or posted.
I even think, yeah, I can do that on the door, that's fine.
Cause that would be easier than every month. If
Yeah.
you have it there the third Thursday of every month, just cut and dry.
Then I don't have to put a notice and
Every
remember to
time.
do it, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Do we need to post a time? Cause I know sometimes we vary our times of when we're.
I was just gonna say 4 PM, cause that seems to be working for us
Third
lately.
Thursday of each month
I'm available pretty much any time, so.
at 4 PM, got it.
Okay. So I'll just type this up really nice and just have it posted.
Okay, I don't think we need a motion for that since it's,
No, it's a mandated.
yeah, okay.
Last thing I have was, the resolution to transfer. I figured since we're still trying to figure out how this capital improvement plan looks for the budget and everything, that we shouldn't try to take them from several different funds, which I think we can only take from Township and Fire anyways, if I remember right, because we don't have anything left in Cume to take from that we would want to take from. So I just typed this up that we would take $10,000, which is 10% of the general operating disbursement balance, and transfer that to the rainy day fund. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but I was kind of making that.
I thought it was 10% of the remaining balance.
Yeah.
That is what that number
Yeah,
is.
so it'd be taken from the township fund, so $10,000, which is 10% of the disbursement balance, would be
Okay.
taken from township and put into the rainy day fund.
Okay. To transfer 10,000 of general operating disbursement balance. General, all that movement is up here. General operating disbursement balance to the rainy day fund. Okay, not. I guess the resolution's been given to transfer 10,000 of general operating disbursement balance to the rainy day fund. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, Pam, second. Is there any discussion? Okay, if not then, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I don't remember the resolution number.
So you do or don't know.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember if we put the month in or not. Either way, it's something 2025, I know that. I'll look at it. Okay.
I don't know if that, I have to necessarily have that in minutes, so we're good.
I'll just,
Okay.
if you want to sign that. And I gave you guys copies of all that, cause I don't know how much you guys wanted, but I know Russ always had copies for his files. And then, I don't know if you guys looked through it, but you got your quarterly run reports, and then, November and December's,
Oh, I have
update.
something that needs to be possibly potentially addressed, and I don't know who would address it.
Okay.
The fire department with the bridge constructions going on. So today, our fire department got toned out
Back to
for
back.
an alarm at the college. He left, he got across the bridge construction, and then got a second call for medical out on 700, and he couldn't cut down South Market Street and loop back around to
Yeah,
go
go
to
through, clear through
700.
town, I know, I watched him.
He decided it was faster because is there nothing for emergency services that can be worked out for the bridge lights?
I don't think so.
Because like they have to stop and wait for the light. And today he had to wait for the light. He got across the bridge. Then he got the new call. Well, the light was red and there's a line of cars lined up. He went to go the other way, had to wait for a train on Main Street, and then when he went out to 13 and caught 700, he had to wait for the train a second time to cross the tracks on 700 to get to a medical call.
Yeah, I know. I watched all of that unfold actually because I was waiting for the same light. But I don't know. Like Sarah and I have actually talked about it because I had wanted to know how thus far it's affected calls and see if it's been adding too much time. And I think one of the last calls he had, it was 7 minutes in total before he got there, which isn't all that bad.
This one ended up being close to 20.
Yeah, I can imagine because I got stuck by the same train. I don't know that there is any precedence. I think we're just at the mercy of the traffic letting us through or not. And I don't know who we would address that with either.
So I say with one lane, there's no way you can trip the signals to go the other way. It won't work.
Yeah, no.
Even if they had that capability, which I don't think these do, they're just on timers, that's all it is. 2 in the
Yeah,
morning, you
and
wait the same amount of times you do 2 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's out that way, I would assume going the country roads is an option, but that's still adding time, and with the weather conditions, you
Icy.
never know. Yeah.
Last night they were icy.
I don't know who we're supposed to ask about that, honestly.
And again, I don't know anything, but with the other bridge shut down, I mean, they didn't take any of that into consideration when that's all county controlled, so from what I was told.
I thought the Market Street Bridge was town.
I was told it was county, that the town didn't have any choice. The county scheduled it.
That's what I thought I had read, that this
Which I think all bridges
this-
are county.
This was county scheduled and we were just at their mercy basically, and they couldn't help the lineup of
Because
what
the
all
way it
about.
currently stands, I live right off of South Market Street. So for us
You have to
to
go
come to
clear.
town, we have to either go around past the elementary, wait on traffic and a light to get across that bridge, or we have to go all the way out to 1100
Yeah.
and come into town. So we have to go 5 miles out of our way.
I know it's the same when I have to come out here. I live right there, like 3
Yeah.
minutes from here. I mean, I either wait at the bridge or I go clear around, and I don't know who we're supposed
We
to.
have to do that though every time we need to go to the grocery store, or go to the gas station.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
frustrating.
anything.
I keep getting people driving through my yard now because they'll come in this way to drop their kids off at school and to turn left instead of waiting in the line. They come down by my house, well then they'll swing in my yard to make that turn to turn left. So they're gonna have my yard tore up for long. There's been new tracking snow today. And it's not, I mean, there's plenty of room, but the buses keep cutting that corner shorter every time.
Well, because there's so many more parents right there than they weren't there before.
So I don't know what we can do, if anything.
I just didn't know if there was somebody that we could bring the issue.
Maybe
To their
maybe the
attention?
county. I don't know.
County commissioners?
Maybe.
I might try to call it.
I think we're gonna have to show proof that it's in affecting calls and livelihoods and
We
stuff
can
too.
show on the
Yeah.
log
Yeah.
for today,
Yeah.
especially. That was a medical call.
And I just don't know what they're gonna do about it. I mean, I don't know, there is a solution.
I don't know either, but that is a problem for especially,
Like
somebody having a heart attack out here and
Would have probably been faster then, they probably should have had BIPAS cover it.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't have covered that, we probably should have had BIPAS do
I
it and
didn't
kept
man-
on our first call.
We didn't even go to the college though, did we? Because I
no,
saw everyone
as
else
soon as he
leaving.
crossed the bridge, he got toned out for the other one, so he skipped the college and
Yeah.
went.
Because I saw Manchester and Pleasant leaving the college. I don't know, I mean, and maybe we could even talk to the town for them to put out a thing that says like, hey, if you have,
If
Yeah,
there's,
we
if
can
there's,
talk about
if there's emergency vehicles, you know, stopped, you need to let them
There's
take
already, they'll
precedence.
block the intersection and stop here
Oh,
in red
gosh,
that
I know,
everybody's
I know.
ignoring, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
Another side, they'll ignore it too.
Well, I mean, that's finable though, if you don't pull over for.
Saw a car today run a red light, said it wouldn't wait longer, cause traffic was back clear up downtown.
I saw,
They just kept going.
I saw someone on the, like, keep eking up on, when we had the red light on the bridge, keep eking up, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's a camera watching you, and it was still red, and he just started to go across the bridge, cause he was tired of waiting, and I'm like, well, thank God they're already stopped, but, I'm like, I'm not chancing, I just stayed
yeah,
there.
there's a
until
big
it-
delay between the two, but,
Mhm.
Yeah, cause I have to let all the traffic get off the bridge before the other direction
Yeah.
can go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a perfect system by any stretch of the imagination, I just don't know what could be done, I don't know. But maybe talk to the commissioners, maybe talking to Manchester Town Police Department, they're gonna have the same issue.
yeah.
And say, what issues are you seeing, maybe if we went with them and said, you know, here's what our medical or our call responses are, maybe that'll get more attention than it's just one place.
I mean, even for the people off of South Market there, they're gonna have to go all the way out in the country and come around.
And I wasn't real appreciative of the town's response to that, did you see that on Facebook?
Oh,
Kinda mocking
yeah,
and making fun of the town people for complaining.
basically,
They basically,
our detours are gonna be well marked and acting like we were just whiners,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that,
I do,
they're gonna have to take better care of the roads in the winter too, if we're gonna have to go all the way out to 1100.
Oh, I know, 1425 got tore up, or 1450 got tore up when that bridge was out. You could,
I know 1100 is not close to good when
it's only a
snowing.
year and, what, 4 months now or 5?
Yeah,
we wanna close out this.
are we going over to the fire department?
Oh, I just printed those for you guys to review them, I mean,
Okay, I didn't know
it's
if
just
there
a
was
quarterly
anything we
review.
needed to review on or discuss.
the only thing that, really is of substance to me, is they have their annual meeting for, officer elections, so.
That
That
happened.
was Tuesday, wasn't it?
I saw it on
The
Facebook, the new
4th or
officers.
something, 4th or 5th.
I thought it was this week.
It was,
Tuesday.
I think it was last week, I saw it on
Was
Facebook
it?
already, they had the,
So Zach's still chief, assistant chief went from Dan Rins to Brandon Volk. First captain is Brady, second, captain Cody, first lieutenant Matt Ozenball, and then second lieutenant Ashton Moore. I do have to find out though who's supposed to be the secretary, cause they don't have that listed, and previously it had been Cody Meeks, I don't know if he's still holding that title or not.
What was, Brad, and how does,
Brad was either a lieutenant or a captain, but.
so did he like resign from,
From what I understand is you have to be like nominated and then for
no,
a
I mean
position.
from like the volunteer thing, because he went to Florida,
Oh,
and he gets paid, doesn't he?
a quarter, yeah, every quarter, $60 a quarter.
he moved to Florida?
That's my understanding.
I don't know the guy, I don't know, so
I don't know. Zach didn't say anything to me
I
about
would
it.
kinda know
I
what
don't
we paid somebody living in Florida.
He said he was moving to Florida, I mean,
I don't know. I'd have to follow up on that actually.
he said he bought a camper and he was moving to Florida. He lives over here normally.
Yeah, right across there. Yeah, that is news to me, so I'm not sure if that's the case. I'll just
There
take
was a
him off the
camper sitting
roster.
over there.
Huh?
There was a camper recently sitting there.
It's not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, as far as I know it, you just get nominated and then they vote on you for whatever position, so.
Okay. Any other business that needs to be brought before the board?
No, I don't believe so.
All right, if,
Motion to dismiss?
Oh, well, real
Oh,
quick,
oh.
are we establishing that January 15th we're going to meet for like annual financial review?
that's fine.
Yeah, is that when we're going through all the paperwork or?
As long as I have it done by then, yes, that's the plan.
Okay,
January 15th at 4 p.m.
Yep. That'll be the big doozy that
And
takes
that'll be
hours.
the long
4.
meeting and all
But that
that
shouldn't be as bad as
snacks.
past years because everything's balanced.
Hopefully my records are.
Yeah.
I don't feel like last year was too terrible.
No.
'Cause it
Yeah,
was
it's just time
For
consuming.
Yeah, it's just-
financial audit. Is that right? Is that the word?
AFR, you can just,
AFR for
yeah, annual financial review.
AFR, I like that. Okay. Next meeting, January 15th, 11 p.m.
4
for,
p.m.
4 p.m.
what'd I say? Oh, 11 p.m. Oh, no, it's just my writing's up there.
I'll be in bed by then, Aaron.
4 p.m. for AFR. Okay, Pam moved to
Adjourn.
adjourn. Second, motion carries.